Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please go ahead and follow and leave a 5-star rating. Folks, make sure you watch and listen to the end. We got some big updates around Jim Cramer and the statements he's making about Donald Trump buying Bitcoin. It's kind of crazy, but you need to hear it. And a Fed governor is saying things are not looking good for the crypto regulation bill, the Clarity Act. So I'll give you all the details. Let's get into it. Okay, folks, let's start with Bitcoin. Right now, trading at just over $70,000. So we're waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do here. Is going to retest, the oversold territory because the RSI has come out of the oversold territory, still hovering around 30, but we're waiting to see some sort of strong move. The thing we should all be rooting for is some sort of solid relief rally. I think the probability of us going to new highs is completely down to like 1% or maybe less than 1%, right? We are officially in a bear market. It's possible Bitcoin could go test 50K. But with the oversold conditions, the extreme fear that we're seeing, these RSIs at levels that we've seen in the previous bear market bottoms, this potentially 60K could potentially be the bottom, but you never know. We can go extreme oversold. Markets can be, as they would say, unrealistic and unreasonable longer than you can stay solvent, right? So let's see how this all plays out in the coming weeks, folks. One thing that's important to note is that the stock market is still holding up well. It's looking like it could roll over, but who knows at this point? But at least we're seeing some green there. That's a positive sign, right? If the stock market is still holding up, that means things can still move for Bitcoin. Gold is starting to recover a bit, but I don't know if this is a move to new all-time highs or a dead cat bounce because it looks like gold has hit a blow-off top. It has been going parabolic, but this is where we're going to have to wait and see. It's back over $5,000 again. But the point is, if we're seeing strength in these other asset classes, it does bode well, even though I know some of you are going to say, Tony, what about the divergence between these markets, right? You look at the S&P 500 and gold, they've been pumping while Bitcoin has been dumping. Yes, but I do believe Bitcoin can catch up to some degree. Liquidity can rotate between these asset class as they have in the past. It's just we may not get that new all-time high, but we could get a strong relief rally. So let's hope for a relief rally for Bitcoin, and then some of the alts can catch up and outperform Bitcoin. And as I've been saying, I'm going to take some profits there and then continue to wait to see if there's going to be lower lows to buy the dip and prepare for the next bull market. But certainly this past bull market was disappointing. I think we can all agree there. And gold outperformed this cycle, even though Bitcoin and crypto have outperformed crypto in the stock market over the longer time frame of like 10 years and so forth. So we shall see, folks. Now, one of the other factors that's really got me bullish is that we're seeing mainstream media like the Financial Times and others are putting out bearish articles. When have we seen these things? Exactly at the bear market bottom. Remember the Time magazine cover showing Bitcoin like asteroids crashing to the earth, and you have the New York Times and this publication is going to come out and say Bitcoin's dead, right? So they're starting to put the articles out, guys. It's the same cyclical pattern. That combined with the extreme fear, with the oversold conditions, the RSI and so forth, is just signaling the bottom is in, if not near. So again, we're at 70. We went down to 60. So if we go to down to 50, that's not a big jump. In fact, I think the majority of the move down is done. If you look at the percentage wise, again, if you look at the oversold conditions, so I believe the majority of that downside is done, even though, again, we could go lower. So we shall see, folks, and I'll update you guys once I start, accumulating. Now, another factor that could drive us lower is inverse Cramer, with Jim Cramer saying Donald Trump is buying the dip. He's buying Bitcoin for the reserve at 60K. Let me play the clip for you.
Do you think that the president is going to fill the Bitcoin reserve?
I don't know. That will
Well, that's
be
what I heard at 60.
Deal.
I heard at 60 he's going to fill the Bitcoin reserve. You better cover.
So he said he heard at 60 Donald Trump's going to be buying Bitcoin at 60K to fill the reserve. Typical inverse drunk Cramer, right? So this man is so crazy, the things he says. But again, he's not trying to help you, right? He is essentially trying to help his buddies on Wall Street. He wants to make you exit liquidity. So be careful. But if he's saying this, and this is supposed to be positive, right? Donald Trump's buying the blah, 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 and all that. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. Now, there are some interesting statements coming out from different folks. Like Bernstein says, Bitcoin shakes off early decline, returns to 70K, and reiterates 150K outlook. They said what we're experiencing is the weakest Bitcoin bear case in its history. There's some truth to that, but it doesn't mean that we're going to hit 150K by the end of the year. Is it possible? Sure, anything is possible. It's just how probable is it, right? I think the higher probability is that we could be consolidating for a while, and I don't think we're hitting 150K at the end of the year. If we do, I'll be very happy, but that's not looking likely. So we shall see. This could be the narrative setting up the relief rally, right? Which we've been talking about, where they suck back people in and make them exit liquidity. Obviously, we don't want to be part of the dumb money crowd. We want to be on the smart money side. So we're going to continue to watch the charts, the macro, and the on-chain data. Now, we do see that Binance and Michael Saylor with Strategy, they continue to accumulate. So Binance adds $300 million in Bitcoin from their SAFU reserve during the market dip. So they're taking the $1 billion they had in their reserve. They call it SAFU or something like it, or SAFU. And they're using that to buy Bitcoin. This is a bit of a PR move because of all the problems Binance has had recently. So they're buying, and that does help with the price. In addition, like I said, Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin, and Saylor, you can imagine they're trying to keep that price as high as possible because if it goes down low and it stays low for a while, they could be in trouble. But we shall see. Now, folks, I'm not sure how many of you caught the Super Bowl yesterday, but Coinbase ran an ad and they used the Backstreet Boys karaoke lyrics, and it had people singing, but it's met with some mixed reviews. Some people are like, wow, this is cool, nice marketing and so forth. But there's a lot of people who are turned off by crypto. They're posting their videos on social media, giving the middle finger to Coinbase and booing it. And unfortunately, this is the state of the market, right? With the prices down, with a lackluster bull market, right? I think a lot of people are turned off. And one of the things, like I've been saying recently, Donald Trump with his meme coin did not help the case for Bitcoin. I think he turned off a lot of the population because they viewed that as a scam, which rightfully so, right? I've been saying I'm not a fan of any politician having any type of meme coins or anything like that. It should not be allowed. It's horrible optics. So in a very politically divided environment that we find ourselves in, if Donald Trump is embracing crypto, launching his own coin to that degree, it's going to turn people off. So unfortunately, I've seen some of the posts on social media. People are not very happy about this, but I thought it was a creative ad. When it came on, I'm like, what is this, right? It gets you to think like, is this an ad? Like, this is so strange. But then the majority of people, especially like millennials and so forth, they recognize, oh, these are the lyrics to a Backstreet Boys song. And then, it ends with Coinbase. This is from Coinbase. So I thought it was good in capturing attention, and not the most amazing ad, but just the ad that just grabs your attention. But it was not met with great reviews here by a lot of the population, it looks like. All right, folks, moving ahead, this episode is brought to you by VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer one enterprise blockchains out there. They're getting adoption across the globe. A lot of companies and enterprises are building on VeChain. They are partnering with Dana White in the UFC, and Dana White last year bought $1 million of the VET token. They work with brands and companies like Boston Consulting Group, PwC, Walmart China, BMW, and many others. And I'm a VET token holder, folks. I have been since 2018. So I'm bullish on this project. I'm a long-term holder. And some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it's scalable, secure, fast, compliant, and purpose-led. You can also stake the VET token via the Stargate wallet. And VeChain is doing some amazing things in their ecosystem, building incredible Web3 technology and rewards programs. So check them out, guys. Go to vechain.org to learn more. Okay, so folks, we got some not so good news, and it's coming from Fed Governor Christopher Waller. You may recall he's recently, over the past 4 to 6 months, spoken about crypto and stable coins and so forth, and he believes in the technology. Well, he said that Congress has stalled on crypto rules. His plan for the Fed skinny accounts hasn't prevented lawsuits, and the crypto enthusiasm tied to Trump is fading. So not so good, guys. And that, I've been talking about it and tweeting about it. If some of you follow me on X, you may know, I'm calling bamboozled here that we got bamboozled. Trump came in, was really great in the first innings of his presidency for crypto. Then he launched the stupid meme coin, and that stole a lot of liquidity from the market. As I said earlier, turned a lot of people off and much more. And we are not getting a Clarity Act, right? The market topped and we didn't get a Clarity Act. One of the things I was talking about is it would be amazing if we get this Clarity Act done and then Bitcoin goes into this big parabolic push and we hit new all-time highs, alts start waking up because altcoins essentially benefit from the Clarity Act, right? Bitcoin has clarity. There's there's not much more needed, but altcoins and different blockchains need that. And that would have been ideal. Guys, that would have been the ideal scenario. And right now, looks like it's not happening, and people are losing faith here. And yeah, this really sucks. I'm hoping, there's some hope inside of me, like they can get it done this year. But the momentum, as the Fed governor here is saying, is kind of lost. It's dead. And I don't know what's going to happen next. And I'm really disappointed. I'm sure many of you are as well. We did not get this done, and unfortunately, Donald Trump did not help the case. It's not just that it didn't get done, but his crypto projects. People, I'm seeing the articles, right, and the political opposition is taking like, hey, pardon Binance founder CZ, and they own 87% of the World Liberty Financial stablecoin, and all these things. Horrible optics, horrible. It doesn't look good at all. So, guys, and I'm saying that not as a Democrat, I'm an independent. I agree with conservatives on certain things. I agree with Democrats on certain things, right? So this sucks. And I'm hoping, maybe by the time this bear market's over and then they get it done and maybe it helps the next bull market, right? But right now, this really sucks. Okay, moving ahead, CFTC expands stablecoin rules to let national trust banks issue dollar pegs tokens under the Genius Act framework. So here you go, guys. We are seeing stablecoins and even tokenized deposits on the rise. This technology is here to stay, obviously. It's just we got to go through these cycles and ride the volatility, which can suck at times. But the technology is legit. It's just the other things around it, like the meme coins and all that, has held us back this bull market cycle. But this is a great update here. Final news item: Backpack Exchange reaches $1 billion unicorn valuation on tokenization push. I've never heard of this exchange. Well, let me give you the details. So Backpack, the crypto exchange founded by former FTX employees, oh, that's not good, is the latest crypto trading platform to achieve unicorn status, according to a report from Axios on Monday. The firm is reportedly in talks to raise $50 million in fresh financing at a $1 billion pre-money valuation. The move comes on the heels of Backpack floating its tokenization scheme, which included plans to reserve $37.5 million of its total $1 billion exchange token supply for a post-IPO company treasury, the block reported earlier today. Okay, FTX employees, I'm going to pass. You won't see me using this exchange. And I'm sure many of you who lived through the FTX crash and all the drama and madness that took place, I'm staying away from everything related to FTX. So co-founder Armani Ferrante noted the plan was to prevent dumping on retail investors and ensure long-term alignment. Here's a quote: "It's not until the company goes public or has some other type of equity exit event that the team can earn any wealth from the project," Ferrante said Monday. "It's not until the company has access to the largest, most liquid capital markets in the world by going public, and it's not until the company has done all the hard work to earn access to those markets, that the team can reap the rewards of the value created by the backpack community from now until then. Okay, that's good, but still, I don't trust these guys. If they were behind FTX and everything that happened, I'm not getting behind it. Maybe some of you may use it, not me. No way. And it's funny today, Sam Beckman-Fried, he continues through a third party, post on his X account he's trying to get a pardon from Donald Trump, and he's now attacking Biden and all these things. It's really pathetic, but he should stay his ass in jail. And we can't. If Trump pardons him, oh my gosh, that's going to be one of the worst things ever, to pardon that guy, but I hope he doesn't. But that isn't stopping SBF from begging for a pardon. But I hope that doesn't happen. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Do you agree that we could potentially see a relief rally? Even if maybe we dump first, then we see the big relief rally. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know. No one has a crystal ball, but I think a relief rally is in the cards, because we're so oversold by the textbook, the RSI, all the way down to bear market levels that we've seen and so forth. So let me know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. Guys, support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's on Substack. Link will be in the description. Be sure to grab a copy of my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto. Check it out. Link will be in the description. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.